deliciously with Ara. Today, gagawa tayo ng samgyetang. To subscribe and like! So samgyetang is basically ginseng chicken soup, which Koreans love to eat, especially pag start ang summer. And I'm pretty sure that it's one of the most popular Korean meals, kaya siguro most of you have already tried. It's very easy to make, and it's perfect na we eat it, especially pag we feel very mahina ang katawan. So it's parang one of our stamina-giving food. So for samgyetang, the best chicken to use is yung mga 500 to 750 grams na maliit na chicken lang. Because normally, parang ikinakain to is one person kada one chicken. So it's very good that we get the small ones. And when we get the small chicken, medyo malambot ang kanyang laman, so which is very, very tender and juicy. So I have here one undressed chicken. Of course, for the ginseng, mahirap talaga makakuha ng ginseng when you're not in Korea. What you can do is you can go to any Korean groceries and they actually sell this kind of, you can have it in different brands. Ganito na parang, it's a mix of different herbal plants and stuff na dried, which we added for the ginseng as a replacement for our ginseng. And also, if you can get some jujube, dried jujube like this, although pag hindi kayo nakahanap, it's okay. Kasi ang jujube, what it does is, it makes the soup, it gives a parang sweet touch of it. And also, maganda siya sa for summer period when we sweat a lot because it gives, parang nag-restore siya ng stamina on our body. And of course, we need lots and lots of garlic. I have here siguro mga 25 cloves of garlic. Or of course, you can just add and deduct as much as you want. And we need some malakit. For the malakit, I babad this one for like 30 to an hour. Para medyo lumambot. But if you don't have malakit, you can actually just use regular rice as well. So now let's start. Must-try recipe! So for samgyetang, it's very important that we clean our chicken very well. And I have here, when I bought this sa palengke, it was around 650 grams. Parang maliit lang siya. Now I'm gonna teach you how to clean our chicken the samgyetang way. So I have here one whole chicken. And normally when you buy, you have to cut off the buttocks part kasi ito yung maraming grasa. So we will remove everything, especially here sa mga paa. If you think na may mga buto-buto pa, we have to remove it. Where the blood clots kasi mangangamoy siya and magiging malansa. And also the tip of the chicken, yung mga wings niya, we cut it off. And here's the neck part. Ito yung magrasang part. We have to remove all the fats para hindi masyado maging greasy ang ating samgyetang. Behind the neck, madalas marami siyang mga fats. We'll just remove it all. And here's the most important thing. Also here, I will just remove lahat. When you go in, pagbuksan niyo yung manok inside, you will see here, yung medyo parang this part. Kailangan ito i-push nyo lang with your thumbs. This part. Kasi ito yung magiging mangangamoy siya, malansa. So just keep on pulling up with your thumb. Lahat like this. Just sa free-flowing water. Try to remove lahat ng mga dugo-dugo ng manok. And as you can see, it's gonna be very clear. You can just see it's yung mga buto lang. That's good. Let's remove lahat. Blood clots. And then get a very generous amount of rock salt. Tapos parang ibabath natin siya. And then sometimes kahit we buy the undressed chicken, may mga parts na may mga feathers, a little bit of those pa. We just try to remove it using the rock salt. And then balawan natin. Make sure na malinis ang ating chicken. It's super masarap. So now, make sure that malinis ang ating chicken. Be sure the most important part is wala na talaga yung mga blood clots niya. Kasi yung mga blood clots ang nagpapalansa on our chicken. So now, just open our chicken. And then this one is malakit na binabad ko for around half an hour. So the best is before kayo maghugas ng chicken, babad nyo na yung malakit para it gives a little bit of time na parang tumaba at sumisip ng water of our malakit. So sa isang chicken na around 650 grams, or the pinakamaliit na chicken that you can get from the palengke, this is 1/2 cup of my malakit. So first, There are some chickens na may mahabang neck, some that does not come. Anyways, ipapasok ko yung neck ko here. Just parang magkaroon siya ng blockage here sa harap. It's actually scary, medyo ang itsura, but you love the taste of it. And then here, maglalagay tayo ng generous amount of garlic, whole garlic, and malagkit together. So first, I'm gonna put some garlic, siguro 2 cloves. And some malagkit. And add some garlic again. And of course, kung nakakuha kayo ng jujube from Korean groceries, although this is very optional, kasi may mga sometimes it's hard to get, it's totally okay. But if you can, better. So I'm just gonna add 1 jujube. And again, don't stress yourself kung hindi kayo nakakuha. And then more malagkit. And some garlics again on the top. Now, after this, when you have an access to ginseng, much better. But of course, mahirap talaga kumuha ng ginseng. Open this pack of samgyetang mix that is very easy to get. So basically, this is composed of all different mixes of Korean herbs, which is very good na pampapainit ng katawan. The thing is, in Korea, there's a parang traditional saying that to fight off daw yung init, like a hot weather, we fight it off with parang hot versus hot. So ginagamit namin is a lot of these herbal medicines na nagpapa-boost up ng aming body when you feel very like parang nagpapahina dahil because of sobrang init ng weather. So this is good especially for countries like Philippines na super init ang panahon. And now if you have this kind of roots and herbals, these are all good and medyo kasama na siya here. So now, after you fill it up, hindi kailangan talaga super puno because kasi diba, once the malagkit cooks, parang nagpa-puff up siya. Once the chicken cooks, meron na talaga siyang rice and garlic inside. So just fill it up more ng ating konti pang rice. And I'm just gonna add more garlic kasi super love ko ang garlic. I'm gonna try to close, parang cover ko siya with yung skin. And then with the paa. So try to stuff all your malagkit and garlic sa loob. And then parang i-cover ko lang siya here with, I'm just gonna pull out the skin. And then if you have any parang kunyari toothpick, you can just parang temporarily seal it off. And then just to have the more presentable look, parang gusto ko yung paa parang naka-cross leg siyang ganito. What I'm gonna do is, magka-cut tayo ng konting slit here sa my drumstick. You can feel na may parang siyang here, some kind of this parang muscle, kind of. So, ika-cut natin siya sa gitna. Be careful na hindi tayo masugatan. And then, ipasok natin yung isang drumsticks here. So, parang ang look niya is parang naka-cross leg siya like this. Now, I'm gonna put this straight sa aking pot. Just get a bigger pot, parang bigger caldero na enough that we can put around generous amount of water. So first, put your chicken here. And then, I'm just gonna pour very generous amount. This is around 1.5 liters of water or something na makakover talaga yung ating manok. Don't stress yourself sa amount ng tubig. Actually, you can just cover it. Basta isa-isang caldero kasha, it's okay. And then, all these herbals na kinuha natin kanina from the samgyetang soup pack, we're gonna just drop it here sa sides lang. For some, kung ayaw nyo na parang kinakat ang drumsticks, what they can also do is tatalian natin with a cooking thread. But of course, it's really your option, diba? So I'm gonna drop it here, lahat ng ating mga herbals. All these ugats and this kind of herbal stuff that's packed. Lahat ito, parang they all have this different beautiful flavors na binibigay. And now, get your spring onion isa. I have here around 2 pieces. Of course, the more spring onions, the better the flavors are. So what we're gonna do is cut off yung green part. Gagamitin ko siya mamaya pang garnish. And then the white part, this is really, really good sa mga broth. Parang, it gives this very, very aromatic flavor ng soup. So I'm just gonna cut this parang whatever size you want, it doesn't matter. Huwag kayo mag-alala sa itsura because we're just gonna boil and mamaya gagamitin lang natin is a soup. And I'm gonna put here, add more garlics. So around, siguro I'm gonna add around 10 cloves. I know you're gonna think na super marami, but of course, you can always adjust. Now, buboil tayo ng ating chicken. Let's just turn on the fire. So try to boil it siguro sa open pot. Huwag niyo takpan because gusto ko lumabas lahat ng the smell of the chicken habang niluluto. And then eventually, magdi-decrease yung kanyang soup. Kaya earlier, sinabi ko na it's very okay na maramihan ang ating sabaw. Sa pot like this, if you're not gonna use a pressure cooker, it would take around 45 to an hour. Pero kung meron kayong pressure cooker, it's a lot better. Siguro mga less than 20 minutes maluluto na siya. Basta maging super tender ang ating chicken. So same thing, pag gumagamit kayo ng pressure cooker, just put your chicken, pero in that time naman, siguro half lang ng water na ginagamit natin sa pot ang gagamitin natin. So now let's just keep boiling until maluto ang ating chicken. It's super masarap. So around after mga 25 minutes, you'll see na medyo nag-decrease na yung ating mga soup level, and then you'll see na may mga bubbles na lumalabas. It's better na we just get it off para maging lalong clear yung ating soup mamaya. So we keep boiling and boiling it. And then now, after you see na medyo halfway through na yung ating chicken, we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of our salt. Parang konting-konti lang na may parang touch of saltiness. And of course, later on, ang ating samgyetang, when we eat it, we'll make a different dipping sauce. So it does not have to be, the soup has to be parang medyo bland. And then mag-a-adjust na ng every person who will eat it para na konti mag-blend ang ating flavors ng ating chicken soup. So 1/2 teaspoon. Now, while we're waiting for our chicken to still cook, we're gonna really boil it ng matagalan. I'm gonna teach you 2 ways to make my dipping sauce. The one is the parang very simple, basic na salt base, and the other one is a little bit of may kick ng konting toyo, which I love that Filipinos, di ba lahat tayo gusto natin na parang may toyo always on our food. So we're gonna make 2 different versions. First is what we need is just any regular salt, sesame seed, sesame oil, and pepper. So on a small saucer, just gonna get a little bit of salt, and then konti lang sesame seed. Wala talaga siyang measurement because it is just gonna be parang basic, simple dipping lang. And then some pepper. And then generous amount of my sesame oil. So here's the most basic na salt base ng ating sauce. And the other one I'm gonna teach you is very simple also. It's gonna be soy sauce based. The ratio is very simple. It's gonna be 3, 2, and 1. So basically 3 toyo, 2 vinegar. I'm using cane vinegar, but whatever suka you have is fine. And then 1 sugar. And then just mix na mag-melt ang ating sugar. And I have here isang maliit ng onion. I'm just gonna use siguro mga 1/4 lang ito. Magka-chop lang tayo ng konti. So I have here 1/2. I actually ended up using 1/2. And then, hindi na ako mag-add ng bawang because this already has a lot of garlic na nakita natin, di ba? So here is already our soy mixture. Now, for just a kick, because of course, Korean food, di ba, may konti kailangan ng spice. I'm gonna add siguro konti lang ng chili powder. Now, when you add chili powder, once you add, and hindi kayo naanghangan, and you wanted to add more, give around like 5 minutes, and then taste it again. Kasi the chili powder, once na it meets liquid, parang it will blow up siya. So it will melt and then it becomes very gluey. So sometimes the error is kung add tayo ng chili powder on any kind of our liquid base because hindi tayo happy on the level of spiciness. Later on, we will end up na parang super paste na. So it has to be parang give some time na matuna muna siya bago kayo mag-add again. So I'm just gonna add siguro mga 1/3 of my teaspoon, just a little bit of kick lang. And of course, a little bit of my sesame seed, just for some garnish and some color. To have the best food, it really needs patience. And after boiling and boiling for so long, and of course, again, if you use pressure cooker, nakakatipid ng oras, I'm gonna just prepare again the garnish because I can feel and smell the beautiful aroma of all this wonderful herb flowing in my kitchen. So now, di ba kanina we have this green spring onions, yung green part. Let's cut it very small, pang topping natin. So now, as you can see, my chicken is very well cooked because I can also see na yung parang nakakasilip ko na yung malagkit ko, that one I stuffed inside is also cooked. The best way to serve our samgyetang is really using a clay pot like this, a tukpegi, what we call it. And again, if you're gonna use a tukpegi, don't clean, parang huwag kayo gumamit ng dishwashing soap kasi nakakasip-sip siya ng sabon. Better is clean this with a salt. That's another cooking tip. Now get a clay pot like this, and then I'm gonna turn off the fire lang. Actually, by this time, you can smell the beautiful aroma of all these herbs. So carefully get our chicken. Using our sandok, I'm gonna place this on our tupegi. And I'm gonna carefully pour over my sabaw. But of course, the herbals na ginamit natin, it's not really, hindi siya pwede kainin. So I'm just gonna try to scoop out lang yung sabaw lang. So as you can see, lahat ng mga aking herbs is naiwan sa pot. In Korea, because definitely you can just use the ginseng. But because wala tayong ginseng, I'm replacing with other herbals. But still, it's as healthy as ginseng is. So this is really not, hindi siya pwedeng kainin, okay? So I'm gonna remove this pot. So of course, it's really good to serve like this. Pero di ba mas maganda pag presentation pag boiling. I'm just gonna put my clay pot. Now, the reason why I'm not gonna use my tupeki kanina for luto is because it's too small, and of course, I really want all the flavors to come out. So now, I'm just gonna give a last parang boil before we serve. And I have here my generous amount of spring onions, which I'm gonna garnish. When it's boiling, I'm just gonna top off our generous amount of my spring onions. Ta-da! So here is my samgyetang. Very easy to make, but very healthy. And I hope you enjoy cooking with me. See you next time. Bye! Must-try recipe! So now let's try our samgyetang. First, of course, is the soup kasi nandito lahat ng ating mga flavors and nutrients. I can smell the parang smell pa lang, I can feel na I'm very healthy already. Actually, the sabaw is very bland still, but it's okay. Kasi we can always adjust the level of saltiness using our dips kanina. And it's parang meron siyang sweetness from the jujube. And these very distinctive flavors of all these herbals. And syempre, the best is we have to get our samgyetang. Let's see inside. Baliktarin ko ng konti. Parang I'm having a heart. Sige. So now let's try to see the inside kung luto na yung ating malagkit. As you can see, it's filled with all this great juiciness of all my malagkit, my garlic. So in one bowl, meron ka ng protein, meron ka ng rice, and you have all these parang beautiful flavors. So you don't have to actually eat another rice now. This is already the soup of it. So I'm gonna try first my rice because I love my garlic and my rice. And you know what? The garlic hindi siya manghang because once you boil it, it becomes very, very sweet. And syempre, the best part is our drumsticks. There we go. Diba in the Philippines, we have tinola. In Korea, we have samgyetang. This is actually great for all kinds of all ages kasi hindi siya manghang. So, I got here at very juiciness, parang super juicy na aking chicken. I'm gonna first dip it sa aking parang basic, which is the most common, the salt sesame oil. Very, very, the aroma of my sesame oil, it just complements it so much. And I'm gonna get the other one. Let's try yung special sauce na ginawa natin on the dip. Very tangy because of the vinegar, and meron my kick from the onions. I'm pretty sure you love it both. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Very easy to make. It's actually also very easy to make, and it's actually very mura when we make it at the house because you just have to buy one piece of chicken. Nagpapalakas pa, you're healthy, you're enjoying it. You don't have to go out. Enjoy cooking it. So I hope you like my recipe.